As soon as the dean enters, everybody gets quiet. So I said, as soon as the dean enters, everybody gets quiet. They're scared of you. I'll give my apology up front for pronouncing the names. I have 4 years to learn your name because I'm also MC of commencement. So if I mess up your name, I'm sorry. You mess up my name all the time. So what's the difference really, you know? Anybody from Tops here? Anybody from Tops? Hi, good morning. We'll get started. I am Professor Carl Fiebelkorn, Senior Associate Dean for Student Professional Community Affairs. We welcome you to the State University of New York at Buffalo School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences 20th Annual White Coat Ceremony. This morning, we'll introduce the class of 2026 in this ceremony. The White Coat Ceremony symbolizes the passage into the initial stages of the profession of pharmacy. This represents a contract for excellence in providing compassionate patient care. This event also highlights the importance of scientific scholarship and emphasizes the highest principles of moral, ethical, and legal conduct. Today, our students take part in this tradition that welcomes them to begin study among the ranks of pharmacy professionals. At this time, I'll ask Dr. Gary Pollack, Dean of the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences, to give his greetings. Dr. Pollack.
Good morning, guys. How you doing? Man, that was a weak response. We'll get you there. So as Professor Fiebelkorn said, the White Coat Ceremony is a marker. And academics just love creating events to mark milepost events in our students' path towards their degree. And this marks your entry into a professional program. So we acknowledge you as young professionals, as junior colleagues. And what you'll find is that this transition that you're making changes expectations. So the expectations of your faculty are going to be different than they were before. We expect you to comport yourselves as professionals and as junior colleagues. Your expectations of your faculty will change, and you will expect them to treat you as young professionals and as junior colleagues. But the biggest thing that will change is that your expectations of yourself will be different. And so your mindset will shift from having short-term goals, I've got to get this particular score on my next exam, or I have to get this grade in a course, to longer-term goals. I have to master this knowledge base or this skill set in order to build a strong foundation for future career success. And I think you'll find that change in what you expect of yourselves is going to be the most enjoyable aspect of what you're going to do for the next 4 years. I ran across a quote from the author and psychological theorist, Joseph Campbell, the other day, who said, your own path you make with every step you take. That's why it's your path. And that's what you will do. You'll create your own path from here to there. It'll be different for each and every one of you, but I would urge you to not consider that as a singular activity in isolation. Your faculty are here to guide you. Your family and friends are here to support you, and your colleagues are here to share your journey with you. And don't go into isolation. Don't feel that you have to do all of this on your own to be a professional. This is a group sport. So once again, thank you for being here. Congratulations on being part of the program. We are enormously enthusiastic about working with you for the next 4 years.
Thank you. I'd like to make note of other esteemed guests and colleagues with us today. Please stand as I call your name. Assistant with the cloaking and new students are the following faculty members: Dr. William Prescott, Chair, Department of Pharmacy Practice; Dr. Soon Young Woo, Associate Professor, Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences; and of course, our Dean, Dr. Gary Pollack. Next is our esteemed guest and alumna of the class of 2022, who just graduated, Dr. Olivia Denny, first-year pharmacy resident at Kaleida Health Buffalo General Medical Center, who is our keynote speaker. We are honored to have her here and look forward to her comments later in the program. We are pleased to acknowledge TOPS Pharmacy, sponsor of our 2022 White Coat Ceremony, and representing TOPS is Matt Hammond, who could not be here today. He's got a PharmD and an EMBA, which is an executive MBA in 2021, and he's Director of Pharmacy Services there. We'd also like to acknowledge our outstanding Dean's Ambassador program. The Dean's Ambassadors are an exceptional and dedicated cadre of alumni and current students who play valuable roles in the recruitment and admissions processes by sharing their positive experience and advice with prospective students. I'd like to thank faculty from our Department of Pharmacy Practice and Pharmaceutical Sciences and our school staff in attendance, and a special thanks to Rebecca Brierly, Samantha Rezit, Lee Yates, Laurel Davidovich, Sarah Robinson, Christine Stum, and Nikki Pizzotelli, and our partner from University Honors College, Tim Matthews. Sorry, I forgot my applause sign. So, as the Senior Associate Dean for Student Professional Community Affairs, I formally welcome members of the class of 2026 to the school and to our profession. I look forward to working with you as you begin this important endeavor. We would now like to call all class members forward to proceed across the stage and receive your white coat. Please hold your applause until all the names have been called. I would now ask Drs. Pollack, Wu, and Prescott to come to the center of the stage to begin the cloaking ceremony. Students, please come forward as directed, and please be seated as directed when you return to your seats. Don't be nervous. Jared Miller, Buffalo, New York. Mohammed Yafa, South Yemen. You. Rhonda Mohammed, Aden, Yemen. Sally Mohammed, South Yemen. Guozing Chen, Sydney, New York. Christopher Zhang, New York City, New York. Charlie Schmitz, Eden, New York. Thomas Awad, Albany, New York. Nicholas Jagmohan, Queens, New York. Lindsay Sobazek, Hamburg, New York. Sarah Getz, Lakeview, New York. Thank you. Jade Finlayson, Fairport, New York. Don't be so nervous. It's okay. Kaylee Eto'o Otuyo, Rockaway Park, New York. Nadine Bustos, Lodi, New Jersey. Don't be so nervous. Stop shaking. Mallory Bradley, Mendon, Vermont. Karina Babina from Pembroke, New Hampshire. Jonathan Morello from East Rochester, New York. Sean Dugosh from Lakeview, New York. Jean Zigang from Guangdong, China. Zintin Wu from Long Island, New York. I know this guy. Good. Ho Changxi from Nanjing, China. Desiree Herman from Rush, New York. Mitchell Korlewski from Corning, New York. Amanda Kocher from Lakeview, New York. A lot of people from Lakeview, New York. Alexis Delonoy from Altamont, New York. Don't be so nervous. Hillary Downey from Hamburg, New York. Jian Dong from Fort Collins, Colorado. Priya Durashami from Liverpool, New York. Jabra Altarazi from Buffalo, New York. Raquel Hernandez from Chicago, Illinois. Imran Mohammed from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Tim Lee from Brooklyn, New York. Nan Nguyen from Buffalo, New York. I practiced your name a lot last night. Nyako Jirinaja Sua Zanani from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Patrick Mueller from Buffalo, New York. Samuel Lazarus from Kotzebue, Alaska. Nayura Bartz from Buffalo, New York. Victoria Bartella from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Anusha Gupta from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Don't be so nervous. Relax. Hyman Kim from the Republic of Korea. Ryan Flores from Center Reach, Long Island, New York. Good morning. Brandon Fajardo from Brooklyn, New York. Nicole Young from Brooklyn, New York. Janie Zhu from Brooklyn, New York. A lot of people from Brooklyn, New York. Madison Blasey from Buffalo, New York. Sarah Boljarski from Cheektowaga, New York. Julia Bayutel from Sanborn, New York. Weebam Shin from South Korea. Shengyang Ma from Queens, New York. Thank you. Relax. Latoya Mwakona from Hare, Buffalo, New York. Owatomi Oluwasanimi from Queens, New York. Hi. Relax. Nadia El Sagir from Buffalo, New York. Megan McGovern from Massapequa, Long Island, New York. Julia Paulik from Fairport, New York. Ogie Faultier from Brooklyn, New York. James Delaney from Middletown, New York. Thank you. Puyan Yun from Suwon, Korea. Austin Jahoviak from Hamburg, New York. Rutu Patel from Gujarat, India. Megan Callahan from Lockport, New York. Christopher Louie from Brooklyn, New York. Giovanni Sylvester from Ontario, New York. Dylan Bush from Alexander, New York. Thank you. Relax. Chloe Richards from Canandaigua, New York. Derek Rossetti from Castleton, New York. Andre Garcia from Glen Cove, New York. Philip Gow from Aurora, Ontario, Canada. Claudie Lekai from Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. Thank you. Nicole Keirala from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Relax. Relax. Lulu Corey from West Seneca, New York. Cyrena Than from South Plainfield, New Jersey. Thank you. Smile. Amarachi Kanu from Bronx, New York. Smile. Smile. Si Shen from Queens, New York. Dante Gargiulo from Massapequa Park, New York. Chelsea Obell from Hackensack, New Jersey. Lori Enkak from Patterson, New Jersey. Karishma Patel from Somers, Connecticut. Nia Patel from Herkimer, New York. Joel Zachariah from New Hyde Park, New York. Sophie Yu from Ossining, New York. Amy Huang from Brooklyn, New York. Karina Quach from Vaughan, Ontario, Canada. Thank you. Relax. Nathan Menanji from Albany, New York. Laura Piazza from Buffalo, New York. Isha Dewan from Menifee, California. Yeah. Navya Desiree from India. Aya Al-Hashimi from Buffalo, New York. Jagraj Kalarao from Caledon, Ontario, Canada. Maximilian Wesner from Chappaqua, New York. Nusrat Somye Mithila from Queens, New York. Jason Wang from New York, New York. Neethi Soman from Newtown, Connecticut. Samantha Sufe Webb from Delmar, New York. Joan Wang from Jericho, New York. Huyan Esmailzai from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Nathan Briseldon from Northeast Pennsylvania. Christopher Yao from Brooklyn, New York. Mackenzie White from Fairport, New York. Noah Wuthrich from Bentley Creek, Pennsylvania. Yana Prokopetro from New York City, New York. Isan Raofi Zeda from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Catherine Bykirk from Ontario, New York. Kaylee Seener from Hamburg, New York. Yahe Yanis Lau from Hong Kong, China. Jieyi Zhu from Fuzhou, China. Susan Zhang from Brooklyn, New York. Get two. Donne Rathbun from Dalton, New York. James Zimmerzinski from Cheektowaga, New York. Lucas Kotu from Harrison, New York. Yan Pan from Albany, New York. Jessica Wren from Honolulu, Hawaii, someplace where we're all going to vacation with her. Stephanie Ikema from Queens, New York. Steffi Ikema from Queens, New York. Kaylin Hilco from Ballston Spa, New York. Michelle Jabur from Lebanon. Yanrong Shu from Staten Island, New York. Christopher Mayer from Kings Park, New York. Relax. Zakaria Ka from Dakar, Senegal, West Africa. Joshua Johnson from Fredonia, New York. Miles Travis from Rochester, New York. Philip Hans from Amsterdam, New York. Levi Shakurko from Rochester, New York. Andrew Van Epps from Amsterdam, New York. Kevin Ackerman from Shodak, New York. Rich Graywall from Liverpool, New York. Liwen Chen from Buffalo, New York. Amanda Yang from Queens, New York. Bethy Joe from Fairfax, Virginia. I would now ask the class of 2026 to stand and be recognized. It'll take just a minute for the photographer to go up onto the balcony to take a picture. If she didn't get lost. So if you could address her up there and take a look. Smile. Be happy. She'll get it right one of these times. Congratulations again. You may be seated. Next is our keynote speaker, Dr. Olivia Denny, a recent graduate from our PharmD class of 2022. Dr. Denny is a Western New York native who grew up in Barker, New York. She completed her undergraduate study at the University of Rochester, where she earned a baccalaureate science degree in microbiology in 2018. She then earned her PharmD here in UB in 2022. During her time as a pharmacy student, Dr. Denny interned at Middleport Family Health Center and attended a medical mission trip to Haiti. She was a very active student leader with a passion for advocacy, which led her to serving as president of the Student Pharmacist Society of the State of New York, the Student Pharmacist Association of Western New York, and the Phi Lambda Sigma Leadership Society. As a member of the Scholars Program, she researched the effects of antiplatelet agents in patients with ST segment elevation myocardial infarction, which resulted in a manuscript publication in the Journal of Cardiovascular Pharmacology. She has received national and state recognition for her scholastic and leadership achievements. She was named the AACP Walmart Scholar and was recipient of the 2022 GoodRx Above and Beyond Pharmacist to Be Award, the Cleveland Clinic Robert D. Cruz Memorial Scholarship, the NCPA Foundation Presidential Scholarship, the Pharmacist Mutual Community Scholarship, and the Merck Award for Academic Excellence. Dr. Denny is now a first-year pharmacy resident at Buffalo General Medical Center, where she is pursuing her interest in clinical research and a specialty in cardiology and pharmacy practice, while continuing to advocate for the advancement of pharmacy practice in New York State. We look forward to hearing her insights. Dr. Denny.
All right. Thank you for the introduction, Professor Fiebelkorn, and for the opportunity to speak here today. I'm very excited to be able to be here in person with everyone and have the opportunity to welcome the class of 2026 into the pharmacy profession. It is such an honor to be standing here addressing you all on such an important day of your lives, especially as a recent graduate of the UB Pharmacy School class of 2022 just this past May. I'd like to start by extending my congratulations. Congratulations to the class of 2026 and to all your family and friends who have supported you getting to this point in your education. I know it takes a lot of hard work to get where you are today, so be sure to take the time to recognize all you have accomplished in your past as you step into this next chapter. While your classes begin on Monday, I think of the white coat ceremony as your official entrance into the pharmacy profession. Today, you wear your white coat and recite the oath of the pharmacist for the first time together as a class. And in doing so, you acknowledge and accept a charge to lead a lifetime of service to others through the pharmacy profession. Recognize that you are reciting the oath for the first time during your very first week as a pharmacy student. You don't wait to do so until graduation or until you become a licensed pharmacist. This is because you have now assumed the title of pharmacy students. And as such, you will take on roles and responsibilities in the service of patients and the profession that must be carried out to the best of your ability and meet the standards expected to you set forth in the oath. Students are known to be a source of energy, often being a driving force for change. They are known to passionately advocate for the profession, contribute innovative ideas to discussions, and serve patients with the highest compassion and respect. As you go forward with your time as a pharmacy student, I challenge you to remember how you feel sitting here today, whether that be excited, eager, empowered, or something else that has you feeling like you're ready to walk out these doors and make a difference in people's lives through the practice of pharmacy. Carry these feelings with you beyond today and allow them to open your eyes to the many ways you can make an impact on the lives of patients in the profession while you are a student. Now remember, I was sitting where you are just 4 years ago. And on this day, I remember feeling the excitement and eagerness, being proud of what I had accomplished to be there, and a real sense of responsibility for what was to come as I recited the oath of a pharmacist. But at the same time, I felt slightly terrified, very nervous and anxious because for the first time in my life, I didn't have a plan for what came next. I was headed into the first semester of classes, feeling like because I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do after pharmacy school, I didn't have a clear path or direction to go from here. And this was a very uncomfortable feeling for me. Not to mention that once family and friends learned I started pharmacy school, I immediately started to get an influx of medical questions, ranging from, can I take this pink pill with the white pill in the morning, to what do you think this rash on my leg is? I would then have to explain to them that while I was in school, I had just started learning the basics of pathophysiology and pharmacology and was not able nor qualified to answer their questions at the time. So just starting out, I felt a disconnect between identifying as a pharmacy student and not being able to help people in the way they thought I could and I wished I could. So needless to say, this also had me feeling a bit uneasy heading into 4 years of school. Now looking back at my time as a pharmacy student, I'm so thankful to have met Dr. Jennifer Rosenberg, an Associate Dean and Director of Admissions from the School of Pharmacy, at a recruitment event back when I was at the University of Rochester. This led me to attending this pharmacy school at UB. As a recent graduate of this program, I can say with confidence that I believe you all made a fantastic decision to join this program and be here today. Regardless of if you have specific pharmacy career interests or are as unsure as I was, the program at UB offers you so many opportunities to set yourself up for a successful career after graduation. You just have to be willing to put in the work, put yourself out there, and take advantage of opportunities as they present themselves. Many people are going to tell you that pharmacy is a small world, and it is, especially in Buffalo, but the connections provided through UB stretch nationwide. Being a pharmacy student at UB means something to people because of the hardworking graduates who came before us and led inspiring careers with far-reaching networks. You are entering into an environment rich with opportunities to get you wherever it is you want to go. A huge part of this environment is the people at UB, the professors, staff, and your peers. I can speak from experience and say the UB faculty had a profound impact on my experience as a student. These people are going to be your teachers, your advisors, your mentors. They're going to have your back and be some of your biggest supporters. Your peers sitting next to you today will become your study partners, friends, maybe roommates, or in my case, I got really lucky and some of mine became even great friends. And we were able to spend the month of June going to each other's weddings before they headed out of state for residency. Cherish these relationships with your peers. If nothing else, these are going to be the faces you see in class every day and the people you confide in before and after every exam, which builds a sense of camaraderie and respect amongst each other. So if you're feeling nervous and anxious of the unknowns today, know that you are entering into a program that is built to support you, guide you, and prepare you to be an excellent pharmacist. Before I close, I wanted to take a moment to share with you a couple pieces of advice that I received when I started school and found to be an essential part of my success as a student. First, take the time to figure out how you learn best. As soon as you can, determine the study methods that lead to higher levels of learning and retention of information for you. This may be different from your peers and different from how you studied for your prerequisites. Then consider how much time you need to allot for these methods and study away. For me, I learned best by writing everything down over and over, so I had to make sure to always account for the time it takes to study this way when planning out my weeks. Next, I highly recommend getting involved outside of class and start by joining professional pharmacy organizations. Through these organizations, you can hold leadership positions, volunteer in the community, organize advocacy events, build your network, and really find your voice as a student pharmacist. My involvement in pharmacy organizations as a student really shaped and drove my entire student experience. It took me on a medical mission trip to Haiti, had me meeting with legislators in Albany to discuss pharmacy legislation, planning state conventions, and meeting pharmacists from all across New York State. From there, consider what else you may be interested in and keep getting involved. Maybe in your later years, you want to do research or apply to be a teaching assistant. You can consider joining a school committee that you get an email about or sign up for a weekend community service event. The point is, through these activities, you will develop as a professional, you will meet people who can open amazing doors for you, and you will find satisfaction in helping others and contributing to the pharmacy profession while you are a student. These opportunities are going to be available, but in the end, it's up to you to put things into motion and turn to your advisors as needed for guidance. And this is not to say that you have to go out and do everything all at once or tomorrow, but this is something to think about as you envision your goals for the next 4 years. Now, considering I was in your seats, putting my white coat on for the first time just 4 years ago, as I mentioned, I would like to close with the words of someone much wiser than I am, with a quote brought to my attention for the first time by my high school calculus teacher, Mr. Piscati, and ever since, words I consistently have revisited. The quote is by Edward Everett Hale and reads, "I am only one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something. And I will not let what I cannot do interfere with what I can do." Thank you all for this wonderful opportunity to speak to you today, and congratulations again to the class of 2026. Welcome to the profession.
Thank you, Dr. Denny, for those motivational words. I now call upon the class of 2026 to rise again and recite with me the oath of the pharmacist. This oath symbolizes the ethics and professionalism you will be empowered to carry on as you begin your education and professional careers. Please raise your right hand and recite the oath with me. I promise to devote myself to a lifetime service to others through the profession of pharmacy. In fulfilling this vow, I will consider the welfare of humanity and relief of suffering my primary concerns. I will promote inclusion, embrace diversity, and advocate for justice to advance health equity. I will apply my knowledge, experience, and skills to the best of my ability to ensure proper outcomes for all patients. I will respect and protect all personal and health information entrusted to me. I will accept the responsibility to improve my professional knowledge, expertise, and self-awareness. I will hold myself and my colleagues to the highest principles of our profession's moral, ethical, and legal conduct. I will embrace and advocate changes that improve patient care. I will utilize my knowledge, skills, experiences, and values to prepare the next generation of pharmacists. I take these vows voluntarily with the realization of the responsibility with which I'm entrusted by the public. Welcome to the profession. That concludes our ceremony today. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing all of you this afternoon at our school's welcome picnic at 12:30 p.m. at Ellicott Creek Park, Shelter 11. Have a great day.